Guys, I want to take this time, guys, because man, I could never do this without my team. And today, I know I was planning on doing an open workout, but more importantly than that, I kind of want to share my story with you guys, because I do believe it's more important that you guys see. You guys are gonna watch me fight Saturday, anyways, right? I want to personalize this day for you. So I'd like to introduce, and I want you guys to please give him a round of applause, the 2019 Coach of the Year, Captain Eric Albarracin.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad everybody's here to witness history come Saturday. And we'll go up and down the line. We got Team Cejudo. It's a big deal. So we got Randy Stanky, striking coach. Also, he's an active MMA fighter, another active MMA fighter. Mateus Matos came all the way from Brazil. He's been imitating Marlon Moraes for 8 weeks, getting his ass kicked. No, not really. But it's been good. It's been good having him. They've been going at it. This guy's one of the best strikers in the world, so it's been really a treat to have one of the best strikers in the world going with Henry in preparation for Marlon. Leandro Ego, former RFA champ, former LFA champ, jiu-jitsu phenom, also Bellator title contender. He was brought in for jiu-jitsu, black belt, one of the best guys on the ground for MMA, Leandro Ego. Obviously, no chance. Jose, no chance. Maria. This is a 40-fight veteran, former UFC fighter. He's been fighting in Russia. He's the current rough MMA champion, and his goal is to get 50 wins in his career. This guy is one of the slickest MMA fighters I've ever been honored to share the cage with. Coach Paul Lamach. We brought him all the way from the Netherlands, from Holland, you know, the home of Dutch kickboxing. He's also, some of his athletes include former UFC champ Germaine Randamie, the Iron Lady. She was also claimed the UFC throne once at 145. And he also head coach for Andy Sauer, striking coach for Andy Sauer, who's a kickboxing legend, 22-time world champion. Give him a hand, Paul. And you got Bruno Bulldog Guinho here. Bruno Bulldog, I met in 2011. It's crazy because, you know, he didn't have he was trying to figure out a way to get onto Team Nogueira at the time, and he finally met Rodrigo Minotauro Nogueira, and I believe it was at a pharmacy. He started telling him his story. That didn't really affect Rodrigo, and then he ended up doing a one-legged backflip at the store, and Rodrigo kind of hired him. Said, boom, see me on Monday, you're on the team. So he's been actually with Henry since the first DJ fight, and he's been the imitating DJ twice, TJ. He's had to assimilate to Marlon Moraes, so he kind of has that story of going from the training partner, and now he just signed with the UFC, so we're looking for big things from this guy. This guy, you know, we have the savior for the lightweight division right now, is right here in Henry Cejudo, but this guy could be the guardian as well. He's one of the best flyweights, and he's a bantamweight as well, so watch out for him. He'll be fighting in Abu Dhabi, am I correct? Abu Dhabi, September 7th, on that Khabib Nurmagomedov card versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier. You will see the Bulldog make his debut, and believe me, Abu Dhabi's gonna tremor when they see this guy fight. This guy's a phenom as well. Coach Alan Vyers. Coach Alan Vyers, boxing coach for Henry, also since before the DJ fight, or the first DJ fight. So he's been with Henry for a while, and he's got tons of athletes underneath him. Particularly just now was Jared Canoyer, who just beat Anderson Silva down in Brazil. So he's been with Henry. So obviously he's part of the UFC World Championship squad. And give Coach Allen a hand. And we got none other right here, the head coach of Fight Ready, Santino DeFranco, who's been in this game since he was on The Ultimate Fighter. Which number was that? Since the beginning of The Ultimate Fighter. Back in the days, The Ultimate Fighter 2, Ended up going again back on Tough, The Ultimate Fighter 9. Also jiu-jitsu phenom, MMA phenom, and one of the best coaches definitely in MMA, one of the best analysts, one of the best MMA minds. And to tell you the truth, Henry always gives me the props for head coach, but none of it's possible without these guys and all these athletes and training partners. I'm just, Henry just likes to make me smile. You want to take care of this?
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I see there's somebody. For those who don't know, I have a gold medal. But besides that, more importantly than that, guys, I've been able to share my story with the world, man, and it's beautiful. Do you mind coming up? Did you read the book? Yeah, can you come on up? You guys, give him a hand. Guys, I've been really. Nice to meet you, brother. What's your name?
Luke.
Luke. Did you read the book?
I did.
What'd you think of the book?
It's my favorite book.
Yeah. What did you what did you like about it besides the gold medal? What was about this book that inspired you?
I like how you told your story from the start, like where you came from and how you managed to grow up to earn your medal in the Olympics.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And this is the thing for me, guys. I know I'm a clown, whatever, but you know what? I'm having fun. At the end of the day, you know what I really care about? I care about our future. I care about those kids that are coming up that grew up just like me. As you read the book, I'm a son. I'm one of 7 kids raised by a single mother, born in the ghetto streets of South Central LA, and I am here today to be able to share my story with you guys. No, you guys watch. I want you guys to really pay attention because this may hit some of you guys. As a little kid, guys, my dad was a drug addict. My dad was in and out of jail. It got to the point when you read this book, it talks about how my dad pretty much sold our Christmas toys for crack money. This is a guy, this is the bloodstream that I come from. But on the flip side, I had a mother who was courageous, who came to this country, and maybe not the most political way. Yeah, she came here, but you have to understand, man, it's a war zone out there. My mom came here to this country to live the American dream, to have freedom. She had I'm one of 7 kids raised in circumstances that I don't even think here in Chirac could even compare. I was a kid that was malnutrition. I was a kid that I'd be lucky to eat twice a day. At the age of 17, I found the sport of wrestling first. I was a kid. They talk about through nature and nurture how somebody is made. And I was made pretty much, when I was growing up, like we never got Christmas toys. Like my mom was such a realist with us. Like, hey, listen, guys, you have 2 shirts, you have a couple pair of pants, you have some shorts. We weren't thinking about gangs and violence. We were just thinking about surviving. But something that my mom did to me that's inspired me in my life is she always edified me. It's like, Henry, you are an American. Henry, you are an American. As a little kid, I've always took that to heart because we were poor, and I didn't get it as a little kid. But my whole life changed at the age of 9 years old. I'll never forget it. I was watching the 1996 Olympics, watching Michael Johnson shattered and win the world record with his infamous gold shoes. And that changed my life forever. This African-American man. The way he shattered that, the way he carried that American flag with his infamous gold shoes, it changed my perspective forever. I told myself that day that I would become the best in the world at the Olympic Games. And this is before I even knew what sport, but it's through my mother who says, Henry, you can be anything you want to be. You can be the biggest drug addict in the world, or you can be an Olympic champion. You can be the president if you'd like. At the age of 10, as a little kid, as you guys grew up in Mexican neighborhoods, they used to make us fight. They used to make us fight for Mexican ice creams. If you're victorious, una paleta de chile. So here I was as a little kid fighting for Mexican ice creams, fighting for 50 cents. But it wasn't so much about the treat. To me, it was more about having the heart of competition and inflicting pain into my opponent, to my peers. Luckily, I found the great sport of wrestling, a sport that changed my life, a sport that gave me an opportunity. And that changed my life forever. As soon as I laced on a pair of wrestling shoes, I said, you know what? I'm going to become the best in the world in this. I had won pretty much every tournament that you guys could probably think about here in America. A kid who was raised without a father, a kid who was raised in poverty. At the age of 17, I get a phone call from the United States Olympic Committee, and they says, Henry, we want you to become a resident athlete here at the Olympic Training Center. Kind of like the experiment, sort of what they do with China with little kids. You'll take them from their homes, and pretty much within 8 years, they wanted to make me an Olympic champion. Within 8 years, I mean, that would mean 2012. But you know what, guys? I had other plans. I knew that in 2008, I says, guys, you guys just give me the resources. My heart, my abilities there. Just give me the resources. I want you guys to get this. On August 19th of 2004, I left home. And on August 19th of 2008, that kid with that dream became the youngest Olympic champion in the history of the United States of America. And yes, I am proud. I am proud to be an American. I am proud to be Mexican descent. I am proud to have a gold medal, believe it or not. But you know what's molded me? You know what's made me the person that I am today? It has been adversity. It has been the experiences that's happened in my life. I have never become the victim. I've always been the victor. I have never been bitter, but I've become better because of them. And I'm going to give you guys an example since you guys are MMA fans. Demetrius Johnson, the first time he beat me, knocked me out in 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Curled up like a little girl. You guys have any idea what it's like for a fighter to curl up, an Olympic champion, undefeated, to get pounded in front of 25,000 people? You guys have any idea? But you know what? I use that not to be bitter. I use that to be better. 2.5 years later, we defeated the greatest of all time. They didn't believe me at the Olympics. Became the youngest in history to ever win an Olympic gold medal. They didn't believe me against the greatest of all time in Demetrius Johnson. Beat him. They didn't believe me in TJ Dillashaw. And I took him out in 32 seconds. You know what the problem is now? Is now that I'm talking about pound for pound, guess what people are saying? They're kicking me again. They're kicking me again. They're talking shit about me. Why does it have to be John Jones? Why does it have to be Daniel Cormier? Why can't it be Henry Cejudo? Why? So I want you guys to get this, man. What's made me successful in my life has been these 3 things that I want you guys to take. You guys don't have to listen to anything I said, but I want to leave you guys off with these 3 things that has made me successful in my life, because I care, guys. Yes, I'm a clown. Yes, whatever you want to call me, but I want you guys to just take these 3 things. And I call it dream, sacrifice, victory. It all started off when I was a little kid. I was watching the 1996 Olympics, seeing Michael Johnson shatter the world record with his infamous gold shoes, sitting on a damn milk crate and inside of a trailer with the black and white TV, and you had to get the pliers to make sure to change it, make sure you had a hanger to make sure you get the right reception. But that's where that dream started. My uncle was one of the biggest drunks in the world. He'd always tell me, like, Henry, he's like, dream all you want because dreaming doesn't cost a thing. And but you know what? He's right. Uncle Chucho, gracias. You're right. What does it cost to dream? Your dream is your imagination. Your dream is your imagination. You can manifest that. But the second thing is probably the most important thing, and it's called sacrifice. Guys, I sacrificed my family. I sacrificed my friends. I had no childhood. I had no friends in high school. As you read the book, I would eat lunch with the teachers, with the high school teachers. From a predominantly Mexican kid to moving over to an all-American Caucasian school, I couldn't relate to nobody. I was the only kid at the school bringing a hot sauce to school to eat in my burger. Who does that? I sacrificed. I had no friends. I sacrificed everything for that dream. So get this, guys. The bigger the dream, the greater the sacrifice. The sacrifice always has to be greater than the dream in order for you guys to accomplish victory. So if you dream big, sacrifice all, you guys will enjoy victory. Thank you. Thank you, boss. I appreciate it, man. I will.